That is a thing. There's like so many of them, honestly, because there's just so many wacky controllers out there. Like, have you guys seen the ones where they're using the Guitar Hero guitars?
Yes, but why don't you send me a link so that I can show chat because we are now live.
Crap.
Hello. No, wait, they actually see it? He can hear us now?
Yes, that is not your invitation to repeat what you said.
So the invitation is a bathtub.
This is an invitation. This is the horny pass.
Wait, are seriously
right.
live?
Yeah.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the week 1 recap of the Hyrule.
Crit Matter, thank you guys so much for tuning into the stream. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Go on. I'm done.
I don't know if I wanna.
What did I come back to?
I don't know if I wanna. I don't know if I wanna keep going after that. To be perfectly honest with you.
You know what? I will say that while the crit did matter, it didn't really.
Oh wait, you're talking about them.
I made the joke, and then he's just kind of been in silence now.
So, basically, this is going to serve as just sort of a recap of all the week 1 matches, so all 4 of them, and I'm just gonna, give my commentary. People in the call can give their remarks on certain plays as well. It's just gonna be a chill, sort of, little recap stream.
No,
I'm going to give a major spoiler here. In every battle, someone ends up with 0 mons left alive.
Whoa!
I can't believe you would just ruin my immersion like that. I can't believe you.
This is actually recorded.
This is why you're missing a roof.
God, you didn't have to do him like that, dude.
You didn't have to do it like that.
No, this is why he's missing a roof. He spoiled the fact that Skarmory was gonna get 6-0'd, and Skarmory wasn't having any of it, so it just left.
Oh dang, that's crazy.
I would go to my corner.
Better not be a corner of a roof.
No, it's inside the closet.
In his house without the roof.
So every corner.
It's a corner. No, it's a corner inside of my closet with a giant bodybuilder plushie because.
With a giant what?
Bob the Builder plushie, because who else is my big inspiration for the house?
No wonder it fell apart.
Future Ben, when you're editing this VOD, remember to put this bit into the highlight reel?
Yes, please. Oh God, I really am so glad we're gonna have that.
Wait, hold up.
So, what's up?
I think he's more so.
I'm gonna cut you off real quick. Please, for the love of God, do not say anything that's gonna require more keyframing.
No. Just look in Discord.
I can't take much more.
No, what you do, Harley, is you just
oh
put
my
that
God,
picture
he
up.
actually has it.
You just put that picture up the moment that he said that, and then there you go, perfect. You don't even have to make that like a complex thing. You just plop it all in there for a few seconds after you said it.
What the fuck?
Alright, so while Holly is in total disbelief, what's been over week 1? Now, wait, why does your showdown look so cool?
It's called Custom Skins.
So, what to tell about week 1?
Alright.
For $5.99, you can get this shiny Charizard.
So, starting off for the first match of week 1. First things first, let's just fucking check. give some of these images real quick.
Oh, you haven't seen it.
In the end, every
This
mod
is what
going
was
to be
so
unfavorable.
important, guys.
No, take it.
This is what was so important.
No,
Look at
you
the
put that as a
stitch
higher
work on that.
reel.
What is that? Is that an iPhone charger in the back?
No.
Wait, what?
Wow, Jeroen foot reveal. It's got some tan feet.
Oh.
Why are there words on your floor?
Why
Jeroen, you've
aren't
got
there?
some tan feet. Good lord.
No, that's the lighting.
Nah, you've got a serious
Actually-
tan going on.
I was about to say that just looks like lighting.
My guy, I'm as white as can. The
It-
side
it-
of the
My
chest.
guy, you can
It's
see
just-
the face cam. All right, I'm as white as a picket fence,
Relatable.
or at least I
My
used
guy,
to be.
if I-
And then a heat wave happened in like 2012, and now I actually have a little bit of pigment on my skin.
Imagine getting a heat wave in here.
You grew up in
It's almost
Arizona.
like-
I don't want to hear it.
For 3 years! It was not even like important years. It was like, years I don't remember. I was born. I was about to turn 3, and we came home.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
I don't think a baby's gonna get that much suntan.
Also,
It's
hi Kevin.
about-
So, without further ado, let's start match 1. So this was me versus Clay.
Oh yeah, my NBC didn't save.
So as you can see, we're leading out with the Doug Trio, and of course, Doug Trio is immediately going to go for the Earthquake, which makes sense.
I mean, yeah, there's just no reason. You had a Victinian, I had a Rio Trap.
I opted to go for the U-turn, and I swapped into Dryers, the Run and Wash. At this point, fucking Whimsithought enters the field. God, I hate this Pokemon. Seriously, like,
I love it.
I will look at you right now, chat. Words cannot describe. Words cannot describe how much I hate Whimsicott. Anyway, so this is the Whimsicott. I'm gonna opt to go for
the eyes
Hydrofoam,
on fire.
whereas the Whimsicott is just saying I'm switching into Fable to play safe. Obviously,
What can
U-turns.
do with it,
Switch
actually.
cannons.
Oh yeah, U-turn.
No. Cobalion comes out.
Offers to steal wool just to support her.
So this is where some shenanigans ensued. Basically, this Snorlax, which if let me actually pull up the team builder. As
Well, I'm gonna get his freaking skin because I feel so ashamed that my showdown looks so awful.
So this Snorlax was actually a
Especially defensive.
well, yeah, it was especially defensive because this was intended to be the fallback plan for a few of Clay's more bulky Pokemon. More specifically, the fact that Snob was a Zard X. So I expect this to where I could easily live. So Quagsire was the initial Zard X counter, but if for any reason Quagsire went down early, we expect the Snorlax to be able to do Quagsire's job. Hence also why it's thick fat. And the reason I sent out Snorlax at that point was because I was going to take the opportunity to try to, either curse Slax or just potentially go for some body slam shenanigans. And of course, that's not what ends up happening. When is it ever?
Oh. I don't even know what I'm about to. I was the one that was doing it. I don't know if I'm ready to see what I'm about to watch.
So obviously he taunted me, so already, my Curse-Lax shenanigans are gone.
That explains why the Volt Switch sits so low,
Yeah.
actually, though.
So at this point, I just opted to go for an EQ, just because I really didn't have anything better to click. I knew he was probably going to switch, so I might as well just get a little bit of chip damage in there. At this point, so this is where I fucking lose my shit. So, Clay, for some dumbass reason,
It
brought
literally didn't have anything for it.
cosmic power, stored power Mew.
You didn't have anything for it.
Yeah, but I didn't think you would succumb to something so freaking
This is a league.
degenerate.
This is where I'm trying to win. I'm
Yeah,
sorry to tell you.
But there's a difference between trying to win and being absolute scum.
Says the person that told me to run Cotton Guard frickin' Whimsicott today.
Okay, Whimsicott is inherently scum. Mew isn't. That's a difference here.
Is that really the difference? Is that you just
Yes,
telling
the
yourself
difference is that Whimsicott has to run a scum set. Mew has other
No, it
options.
doesn't. It could run choice specs and actually hit hard with Trick. other than
We
Trick
don't
the
talk
Automatic
about that.
Bullets.
We don't talk about that.
That's in fact what it was.
We don't
in
talk
this
about
battle.
that.
So you're just trying to shoot down any other argument that disproves it. I gotcha.
So at this point, I'm sitting here wishing, just because
I don't know why you didn't do that. Why
So-
you did that.
the reason I did that was just because it's like I thought you were just keep sitting up.
Literally, I'm cosmic powering over and over, and your first
Oh, yeah.
priority is to not scare it off, but to wish on your Victini.
Yeah.
And then you turn a Sunset Victini.
Well, no, because the thing is, I knew you were just gonna keep setting up, and I
What
had
else-
done, and I knew Quagsire could live from at least times 3, so I took the opportunity to get my Victini's health back up.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
And so this is where shit mattered. He crit me.
It
This
was
was a roll without the crit.
yes, it was.
The crit mattered because,
You were hazing, yeah. It's
yeah, if the crit did not happen, I could have potentially lived, and I could haze that turn. So it was entirely possible that I could have hazed, removed the Muse boosts, and then during next turn, I could have swapped into Gallade, Mega Evolved, and knock off for a ton of damage. Or Clay, knowing that I would probably end up doing that, would end up switching Mew out. Either way, the Mew no longer would have stored power boosts and would have to get them back up from scratch if he wanted to do it again, which is OW in my book.
see now. I'm just, I didn't even realize it, but you literally could have had that happen like 3 turns earlier instead of wishing.
Yes, I'm aware I waited
I was
for too
about to
long,
say.
but either way, that is my logic.
Well,
The
your
logic-
logic was
the
not
Well, your
logic-
logic caused the crit to happen.
No, the logic did not cause the crit to happen. Dumb
Because
luck caused
if
the
you
crit
would
to
have gone
happen.
immediately out after doing that with Clefable, instead of just straight going Victini, and you went into Quag, I was only at +2 there. Meaning,
Look,
even with a crit, I'm not killing you.
I had my reasons, and life said, no, "Fuck you." Okay, we're leaving it
And
at
I
that.
had my reasons. I just thought you're trying to
Look,
shoot down the other side.
We are not entering a debate here. I'm moving on.
But it's not a debate. I'm just saying that both sides are valid.
Very
That's
short.
what.
Goddamn right, they're both valid.
Very short. It must be-
Fucking democracy, bitch.
I thought Sledge was a leftist.
Yeah.
That's a form of democracy. What?
Listen, I don't know politics.
Well, you really don't, because. Good lord, Santi. Alright.
I'm a lesbian. I thought you were American.
Oh god, I know exactly where that's from.
I legit thought that Spook was coming out as lesbian, and I'm like, wait a minute, he's a dude. That doesn't make sense.
Yes, I'm a gay, bi, lesbian, transgender deer.
Get out of
That's a
here,
wrong
voraciously,
title.
Steph. Get out. Get out of here.
Oh,
Fucking
title.
deerkin looking ass. Alright. So, at this point, I'm kind of just like, well, that's it, I've lost. So at this point, I just start doing random shit. I bring out Snorlax because Snorlax is especially defense invested to the extreme. So I figured even at, these amount of boosts, it should be able to live at least one stored power. And then this happens.
Obviously. Like, it gives me fighting coverage, and it also uses the defense I'm using for sword power as my attacking stat. Like, this is a no-brainer.
And then you already know where the rest of this is going.
At least Hylian murdered Santa.
He did murder Santa. See, I just still don't understand why this wasn't the play. This is at +4. I
So
couldn't
at
get
this
any
point,
better than
at this point, Clay takes pity on me and swaps.
It's not that I take pity, it's the fact that you're outstalling me because I had to go to hover over mute.
I'm trying to give you credit here. All right.
Huh?
I'm trying to make you look like a more powerful threat than you actually are. All right. Let me have this.
I don't think that's how that works.
That's not how that
You're
works
trying to make
at all.
yourself look better by making him look
Yeah,
No, I'm trying to make myself look dumber. Although, if you do look,
Hardly possible,
Clay is
Hylian.
correct. I had far more wishes and protects left than he did stored powers. So I literally could just stall him out.
There's no reason for me to
So
keep
he
doing that.
had no choice but to swap.
I could have kept that going,
He
but
could have, but I would have outstalled you, and then all you would have had is body press.
yeah.
Why is Balgry meowing like a cat? What? He gave me 100-foot motherfucker.
And yeah, that's how my battle went.
Yeah, fear kind of kill.
So, moving on to the next battle, we had Jeroen versus Kevin.
Oh boy.
So, the Homeowners Association has deemed this a neighborhood brawl. So, as you can see, the homeowner has been confronted by his evil clone from an alternate timeline, as
Also,
evidenced by the fact that they both have the same sprite.
I'm still really upset.
This was just a weird version of Neighbor and Neighbor.
This is just Hello Neighbor 2. It's an early access preview.
Wait, who,
Like,
yeah,
this is
I'm
both
kind
well-
of, the one thing I will say at the beginning of this, I'm kind of upset Jeroen didn't bring these
Don't worry.
Cavalier for the meme. Because we made that at the start.
So,
Like, this is like old Bob the Builder versus new Bob the Builder.
So, going off the Team Builder preview alone, you can see that, like, honestly, it's a pretty fair matchup just in terms of type effectiveness. Just because both sides have at least 2 or more mons that are just have coverage versus the majority of the others' mons.
Yeah, you know what I just realized, by the way, and I can't unsee it now? They're using the exact same character.
Yeah, that's why I said evil clone from an alternate timeline.
I didn't even realize that.
But no, like, you can see when Chandelure gets coverage versus Selgor gets coverage versus versus Scizor. Like, meanwhile, on Kevin's side, not, like, both Chandelure and Latios do not appreciate a Darkest Lariat from Insane. Shaman just does not appreciate any real bug-type move from a Selgor or a Scizor.
Hoopa is extremely versatile, special, and physical.
Yeah, Hoopa, if spec'd properly, could be a nightmare for T-Tar and for Araquanid. Like, both sides were pretty even, although Kevin does have a slight edge in terms of overall coverage. But as we're going to see, that really does not matter.
I'll say one thing. Hoopa really doesn't. I mean, Araquanid really doesn't care about Hoopa. I have multiple decks. I had what's the name? Mirror Code? No, Takes a hit.
mirror
Double
coat.
move.
Mirror coat, right.
I
Forgot about that.
Leech life. Leech life. I had it covered for days for that thing.
That's the death sentence to freaking Hoopo because times 4.
Fair enough. Alright. So, battle's gonna start. Obviously, you know, so right now you can see from this here standpoint alone, Jeroen already has the better lead here. Because Kevin either has the option of U-turning or hard switching, or he's going to take a mean Fire Blast or some other fire type move directly to the face.
I thought it was going to be slower because Scissor is more often than not on the slower side and just bulky.
Yeah, this is
But let's play.
This is true. So at this point, I was also under pressure because you could have been Scarf, and I believe in certain situations, Scarf Chandler can actually outspeed a Scizor unless the Scizor is max speed invested.
It does that anyways.
But either way, Kevin decides to Mega Evolve turn 1, and opts to go straight for the U-turn, which was honestly the smart play. He then switches into Drifblim, which is a bit of a risk because Jeroen could have gone for a Ghost-type move, predicting some sort of a switch. But Jeroen opted to go for Overheated Head, and as we see, that just winds up killing anyway. So, yeah. Which I think it's safe to say that we all know at this point this is a Specs Chandler.
Mm-hmm. Got a lot of overheat Specs Chandler.
So yeah, that was killing really anything Kevin sent out. Maybe Incineroar would have lived. Maybe Incineroar, maybe Hoopa would have lived with the right spread, but almost anything else he sent out would have died immediately. Either way, it's turn 1. Kevin's already down a Mon, so he switches into Hoopa, which then goes into Dog. And now we end up with some Calm Minds. So you see Hoopa's beginning to meditate, and decides to, pull out his ultimate tech, but the Dog's having none of that and proceeds to Oko again. So, I'm just gonna put this into perspective. It is turn 3, and Kevin is already down 2 Pokemon.
I'd say things are going.
Just let that sink in for a minute.
Things are going pretty well for me. What does he want
now?
So, Kevin then sends out Ugly Cat, which I resent that nickname, by the way. Why didn't you just name it? You could have just named it Barrel.
I will agree, is an ugly cat by cat standards. What cat stands on 2 legs all the time?
Don't blame the cat, blame the developers.
The only other name that's legal is John Senior.
Don't blame the cat, blame Game Freak's dumb obsession of having to make every single fire-type final evolution bipedal. For some dumb reason.
No. Jeroen, the only acceptable name for Incineroar is Incineroar. Not John.
Can somebody move him to the void real quick?
Please don't.
Can we just ban him?
No! I'm gonna have to ask Sev to give you back the douche canoe rule.
Oh, but when other people make that joke, it's alright.
No, well, I mean, maybe.
Yeah, look at that, eh?
We'll save this for off camera. Anyway. So, continuing on, Savali proceeds to go for the parting shot, and swaps into Spooter. Unfortunately, we have a bulk of Incineroar on our hands. Jay never didn't see that coming. Kevin decides to get greedy.
My fucking ears.
Which, yeah. So, Darkest Lariat. Kevin activates a fake Focus Sash. He unleashes it near Sevex, but unfortunately, as we all know, Sevluck is dead. Because Rocky Helmet Shaman is here. Which, by the way, nasty tech.
Gotta love it.
I don't think anybody expected Rocky Helmet Shaman.
It's great.
Like,
I think it actually...
It makes sense given the team dynamic of both ends.
No, it
Wait,
makes sense, but at least for me, I definitely did not expect Rocky Helmet Shaming. That's the last Pokemon I would expect to have a Rocky Helmet.
Fun fact about the shaming, it was Dazzling Gleam, Earth Power, Toxic, Healing Wish. Like, it was just a nasty attack.
Yikes. So Kevin then proceeds to ascend out Phalanx. He misses the Toxic. No retreat. And then, unfortunately, the mighty have fallen. Rest in peace, George.
He was the greatest push of them all.
Yeah.
He's still in front of my house, but just a dead push right behind.
So at this point, Jeroen opts to start getting up, reflect. Liquidation. And the Citrus Berry proc.
I love how versatile Spooter is.
Yeah. Arachnid is quite literally hanging on for dear life right now. Just does not want to die.
And no fucking poisonings.
Then, it eventually just caves in. And then Cargo's plane enters the room. And decides, yeah, I'm gonna kill you.
Just ram through the entire house.
And then Selgor's gonna come out. And then, Cargo's plane decides, yeah, I'm gonna So this is where I get confused. Kevin, why the hell did you rain dance?
I already explained it. I didn't think he would. I had two choices, right? Either throat spray Buck Bus or rain dance for the chandelier, because I had raw shuriken, so raw speeded. I sat there deliberating, throat spray or raw shuriken. I just thought that he might switch in.
Fair enough. So at this point, Kevin's down to his last Pokemon. Jeroen's got a Chandelure. And as we can see, even in rain, that's not enough to stop Specs Chandelure. So yeah.
Fun fact, with the set he ran, because he ran max offense now, it's killed him twice over in rain.
Jeroen ends up winning 4-0. On to the next battle. Spooks versus Jack.
I'm gonna take off here.
Alright.
Good job.
So this was probably my favorite battle for week 1.
Is it mine?
No, it's Spooks versus
oh
Jack.
no, it's Spooks. It's Spooks.
This was probably my favorite. Sandy's is definitely a close second. But for me personally, this was definitely my favorite battle. I would like to preface this by saying, Jack is not a competitive battler. He has never even participated in a draft league at all. So he's going to make what many might consider, rookie mistakes here. He's a rookie. So please cut him slack. He's learning just like everyone has to. Alright, there's no fault in that. So, that being said, he makes some very nasty plays. So, we'll just jump right into this. So as you can see from the lead alone, Spooks had led out with, was that actually Aggron or was that the Zoroark?
I believe that was the Zoroark.
Alright, that would explain the switch, because actual Aggron might have wanted to stay in. I mean, if you opted to Mega Evolve that turn.
Oh wait, no, it was the Aggron because I was afraid of Earthquake.
Oh, that would explain it.
I was about to say, Zoroark would probably have clicked Focus Blast if he was
Yeah.
in this situation.
So, at this point, Jack's gonna opt to set up some Stazzers, standard stuff. He switches into Arc Result, whereas Spooks is gonna opt to set up a layer of T-Spikes before switching into more Pico. This was fucking nasty. Who uses Raw Stomping Tantrum? He didn't opt to try to get anything to fail. He didn't opt to get the Stomping Tantrum boost. He just fucking went for a Raw Stomping Tantrum. Right out of left field. Zero hesitation. Like, that's a freaking power play right there. Alright? If that does not assert dominance, I don't know what does. So at that point, we have the Goop draw.
Hello.
Yep. Hello, Goob. So, Jack
I
opts
just
to
think
swap in
Jimmy's-
Charizard, who easily takes out the Focus Blast. Dark Pulse. And, surprise! Yep. It's the Zoroark. Gee, I totally didn't see that coming. Regardless.
Hey, can run Focus Blast.
Yeah. No, it can.
Yay.
Regardless, Jack actually made the pretty smart play of opting to go for the Dragon Tail just to get the hard switch in there. Unfortunately for Jack, he wound up sending out Slurpuff.
According to Jack and Unstable, who helped team build with him, their entire plan was based around Hazard's Dragon Tail. He had
Yeah.
Dragon Tail on like 4 different mons.
Which is a valid strat, and if Jack had pulled it off, it would have been absolutely hilarious. But unfortunately, they both forgot that Slurpuff gains access to a little ability called Unburden. And I believe the rest of this will just speak for itself.
Apart from the
Except
Steelix.
for the Steelix, right?
So, this is actually the second instance of crit matter, and this time the crit really did matter. So, it is important to note that Jack's Steelix here had 0 defense investment. This was a 0 defense invested Steelix, right? And when...
No, he put it specifically up to 600 because he was like, we're not gonna need more than 600, right?
Okay, right. So it had a bit of defense investment. But we did the calcs afterward, and for what's about to happen, and you know what, I'm just going to show it here. Jack Austin Mega Evolve and Crit Drain Punch. So, Unstable did do the calcs after this, and with Jack's spread, even if Jack had been a main defensive nature and had 0 defense investment, even if that was the case, he would have lived a Drain Punch if it had not crit. Like, with this exact situation, with Spook's at +4 attack, even if Jack had had literally 0 defense investment, he still would have lived a Drain Punch. The crit mattered. It actually mattered on this one. Which, that's why if you go to the spreadsheet, it says crit mattered. Again. So, at this point, it's just pack it up, we're done here. At this point, you can all see what happens at this point, just...
At this point, what else beats a 1,100 attack Slurpuff?
Yeah.
A 1,000 and a 1,002.
Shit, you got me.
I can't.
No, I believe the exact number is 1,145.
Sorry, that showdown replays don't let me actually give the hard specifics on that, but
Yeah, no, this is why I drafted Durpuff.
yeah.
I've
Ladies and
played
gentlemen,
enough.
Unburdened Slurpuff is a thing. And the thing is, as well, is a lot of Jack's Pokemon had no speed investment, specifically because they forgot Unburdened Slurpuff was a thing.
No, they like hard predicted me to go into Trick Room.
Yeah. They saw
The best-
Spooks' team comp as well and saw that it could be used as Trick Room. And it was a combination of that and also forgetting that Unburdened Slurpuff exists.
Yeah.
For all the rookie players watching this, the trick with dealing with Slurpuff is not switching, but just raw attacking.
Which, to be fair, Jack did lose the Steelix to complete luck. So he really did get robbed on that department.
Oh no, he got robbed twice because the Dragon Tail could have switched
Well,
in
for
any
starters,
ball.
yeah, for starters, he Dragon Tailed into Slurpuff. And then to top it off, the Drain Punch crit actually did matter. Because if that hadn't crit, he would have lived. There were some actual, really good plays on Jack's part. Like, Stealth Rock Dragon Tail is actually a very valid strategy, and if you can pull it off consistently, then it's actually a really good option. He sending in Charizard followed by Steelix on the Toxic Spikes to avoid getting poisoned was a very smart move as well. There was also a matter of just the sheer amount of just balls you have to go for a raw stomping tantrum. Like, I tip my hat off to Jack for that one, because that, oh my god, the cojones on this man. And so with that, we move into our final match of week 1. Sandy versus Unstable.
Hi.
So,
On a final note, Durpuff would like to say GG easy. Didn't even try.
really didn't. So, as we can see here, Unstable brought a Karkle. Why? You'll find out.
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
So, as a preface to this, up until a few weeks ago, I had never seen Sandy seriously battle competitively. I had only ever seen him battle, for shits and giggles and not actually seriously. But when Sandy gets serious, he is a completely different person and it is absolutely terrifying.
Yep.
Sandy actually playing seriously is a situation that is equivalent to having to offer your firstborn child to Satan in order to avoid getting smitten in your sleep. It is that terrifying.
Say that.
It's like buying a house and then getting your roof stolen.
You know what? That's the better comparison.
I guess it is.
Didn't even use the roof.
Yeah. Didn't even use the roof. He literally stole the roof just for the sake of stealing the roof.
Of course, why would you use a roof? If you don't have 4 walls or a house, why do you need a roof? There's nothing...
He really wanted to
He
bring down the
just
high...
robbed me of my roof.
He just really wanted to bring down the final resale value of your house, I guess. Maybe he's trying to buy it off you later.
Disgusting.
It really is disgusting.
The only thing more
But regardless,
disgusting.
in terms of team preview, honestly, pretty balanced matchup here. It is weighted in Sandy's favor a little bit, just because, you have a few immunities to Wade's Mons, where Wade can't really say the same. Yeah, he's got an immunity to Zero Aura and Lando, but aside from that, a lot of his team is weak to ground. And Sandicont is right there. And
Oh, don't
Earthquake
for-
is a very common move.
And don't forget the Lapras, because Gargoyle gets hit super effective. Lando gets 4 with Freeze Dry,
Yep.
which Lapras gets.
But the
Kingdra
fact
is
that
gone.
the fact that half of Wade's team, like, is weak to Earthquake and to ground types is a huge deal. And Sandy,
Most of his team was weak to Lapras.
Sandy manages to do some stuff here. So, jumping right into it, you end up with Yin versus Ernesto.
I don't know why you called it Ernesto.
He doesn't know why either. He just decided to name it Ernesto. But as you can see right off the bat, Sandy opts to, do that. So, this was actually a very, very, very nice tech on Wade's part.
If he done it intentionally.
No, this part was intentional.
No, it wasn't. He forgot about Magic Bounce entirely.
No, really? I thought it was just he forgot about it for the hazards.
Yeah,
No,
we
he
grilled
forgot
him
about it
for like
entirely.
30 minutes before he admitted it.
So, this here...
I will admit, though, it was a good accidental tech.
So, this here at the time, I thought was just a 300 IQ play. Just capitalizing on Magic Bounce to give yourself a Flash Fire boost. That's a Galaxy Brain play. We found out later it was not intentional. But in the moments, I was sitting here like, holy shit, he's a madman. But as we could see here, not exactly a thing, and down there. Hey, Cam, thank you for the raid. We are going through week 1 recap of the Hyrule Draft League.
Who? I'm sorry. Who?
Who?
Who else?
Who?
Whomst?
So this was the big kick of the way that Wade forgot about Magic Bounce. So
Mountain Brain
the
turned
thing
into
as well
Pebble
is
Brain.
in the moment, Spooks, Clay, and I, because we were all in the call at the time, we're all sitting here thinking that he had that this was intentional, that he was going to pull out some sort of Galaxy Brain thing that revolved around having hazards on the side of the field. Spooks and I especially were sitting there racking our brains thinking what situation he could have that he would want hazards on his side of the field.
I
And
was
then-
also thinking this.
Because it was a genuine thing. It was like, this wasn't a misclick, right? This had to have been intentional. Because you literally just saw Magic Bounce proc before. Like, this had to have been intentional. But what reason does he have for this? And of course, it was a complete accidental thing. So at this point, he swaps into Sloppy Toppy. Oh, these names. This is the part where I started to think, like, Wade, what are you doing? Just sheer matter. So this is just the unfortunate thing. So it's not just one Draco he misses, by the way. That's the first Draco miss. That's the second. He missed 2 Draco Meteors in a row. And since there's no way this wasn't crit draw, if even one of those had been a crit, Absol would have died.
Yeah, and in all honesty, looking back on the match, I feel like out of the misses, the first one mattered a lot more than the second. Mostly because if the first one hit, he would have at least gotten damage off, and if the second one missed,
Exactly.
he would have. Well, I mean, like, it would have been the same situation if the second one hit, but the first one didn't. But But the first one meant that he got damage off, and that he had a chance to hit the second one, as opposed to him only landing one of them.
Exactly. But the fact that both of his missed in a row is just heartbreaking. Like, there were some serious just Lady Luck hates people moments in week 1. And this is definitely the one that took the cake. So at this point, absolutely, I can still vividly remember Unstable slamming his desk in rage at that moment. Like, my man straight up pulled an XQC. He swaps into Orbeetle, which... Wow, hey, did you guys know that the Absol is holding an Absolite?
Whoa!
I thought it was holding a Charizard, the most unbeatable Pokemon.
Yeah, do you know that
No,
Charizard's
Leon
undefeated?
can't
Do you know that it's the newest champion in League of Legends? I mean, Pokemon Unite? We'll talk about that later. Anyway.
Blastoise is better.
At this point, Absol just, does Absol things. Need I really say more here? So...
Dang, it was a really lucky day for the other Pokemon. Sorry, I
Yeah.
just saw that quote. I just saw me pinning that in the replay.
So... I would like to say here, shoutouts to Zach.
What?
Just shoutouts to Zach.
Isn't he?
Plasma Fist!
Fists!
Plasma
Fists! Plasma...
Oh, yeah, that's right. Forgot I called it that.
What do you mean
I
you
named
called
it
him that?
Plasma Fist in all caps in the draft. Like, for a
Yeah.
little while, your Pokemon was named Plasma Fist.
No, I remember that.
That isn't
too.
the original. Wait, that isn't the original name of the Mon?
No, it should
was
have been.
It was just very plasma fist,
So,
right?
this is where I go on a field day.
Plasma Fist!
Plasma Fists! Plasma Fists! So, Plasma Fist put in a substitute, which then immediately gets destroyed by an EQ. I'm not sure, Sandy, why did you even do that?
Okay, so I wanted to scout to see what he was going to do. I didn't know if he was just gonna raw Earthquake or if he was going to try, like, maybe set rocks, U-turn. I didn't know what he was thinking in that moment, so I figured, hey, you know what? Subbing is a good way to just figure out what he wants to do in this situation, because I kill him regardless, but I wanted to see if he wasn't going to Earthquake, and it doesn't break my sub, I can bulk up and get the +1.
Okay.
And then, like, guarantee that I can keep Zeraora in instead of having it switch out.
Okay, now that I actually see your reasoning behind it, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because at the time, I was like, I'm not sure why he did that. We all know that Zeraora just dies to a single Earthquake and you're just lowering your HP. But now that I know that makes a lot more sense. Regardless, Plasma Fist proceeds to not use Plasma Fists.
It's a Landorus!
I have been lied to.
It's a fucking Landorus! What do you
I have been
expect?
lied to.
It's a Landorus! I can't be
I
Plasma
don't
Fist
care.
now.
I've been lied to.
This isn't a Plasma Fist, this is the bathtub!
It's a bathtub!
It could have been Ring Target. You don't know.
No, it was Rocky Helmet. I knew that already.
It could be Ring Target. You don't know.
Oh.
Ring Target
No.
Landorus.
Just no.
To this point, Circuitry comes in. Another sub. The Energy Ball. Leftovers. Again, not a Plasma Fists. Stop.
Well, of course, because it's an
Toying.
electric type.
Stop tugging with my emotions. Stop it. It's not funny. Alright? I was promised Plasma Fists. and I was
You
not.
weren't promised Plasma Fist.
Why did you name it Plasma Fists? I trusted you.
For the meme.
I really hope at some point in this draft we have a moment where Sandy literally brings them on, but without Plasma Fist, but still names it Plasma Fist, just so we can. Back
You
to
know,
the-
that'll be the time I bring it special.
That would actually be hilarious. Which, Energy Ball Stand continues to be a thing.
Plasma Fist. Flat thing.
Rest in Plasma Fists. A moment of silence for our Lord and Savior Plasma Fists.
I don't know if that's what I want to say here. Battle for the Grid is right there.
Alright, the moment's up. So, at this point, we got to the Plessy. So, this is the other bit I don't understand, is we've seen it has Energy Ball. It definitely has some electric type move. It would make sense for it not.
It
And, you're a Lapras.
Yeah. And you said before, wasn't it like Choice Scarf?
Yeah, it's Choice Scarf.
Yeah. So,
It was
wait,
hold on.
understand.
You can still hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, and my display just glitched, so I can't see people talking. That's fine. Yeah, so Lapras was Scarf specifically for Landorus, because if he didn't bring Scarf Landorus, it literally outsped every single thing on his team, because its highest base speed was 105, or not 105, 95 with Xatu. So it outsped everything. It guaranteed killed Landorus with Freeze Dry, which also killed Kingdra and Pelipper, because they're all quad weak to Freeze Dry. And then it had mostly HP, and then the rest of it was in defense in the case that Landorus might have been Yachi to help live any form of rock.
Okay. So, at this point, hi, I'm a Lapras. Yeah.
I still find it really funny that the only person that didn't have a 4-0 was the 6-0 sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even
5-0.
6-0, it was 5-0.
So, that ends week 1, but
Oops.
I'm not quite done here. Let me,
I'm just eating my dinner at this point.
let me quick zoom in webcam here. Hi.
Oh boy, Lapras on Lapras action.
So, you all probably know about the Pokemon Presents thing that happened today.
Sounds like League with extra steps.
Pizza time stops.
I'd like to call your attention to a certain very similar PR fiasco that happened to, what, a few years back at this point? Something like that? It was either 2018 or 2019 that it happened. I'm gonna pull this up for you. So, I would like to remind you all about the Diablo Mortal fiasco. So if you remember,
We want Diablo 4. Here, have a bad mobile game instead.
Do you guys
So-
not have phones?
if you remember back in 2018, at BlizzCon, Blizzard's annual, essentially it's E3 but for Blizzard IPs. And Blizzard promised ahead of the event that there would be a big news for Diablo fans, which a lot of Diablo fans understandably took to meant Diablo 4 announcement. Take into account that the last game Diablo fans had gotten at that point was Diablo 3 in 2012, which was 6 years ago at that time.
And they stopped making DLC around the
And
2050 point.
yeah, and DLC had ended at that point. And so there was definitely a crazy craving and demand for a new Diablo game.
I can vouch.
So when Blizzard themselves tweeted out publicly saying Diablo fans can expect some big news, it's not much of a stretch to think from a Diablo fan's perspective that means Diablo 4 announcement. I don't think that's much of a stretch. That's a pretty reasonable expectation to have at that point. And there's no way Blizzard didn't see that as a logical reaction. There's no way Blizzard didn't tweet that out without thinking that some people are going to take that to mean Diablo 4. Guess what? We didn't get Diablo 4. Instead, we got this. Diablo Immortal. A mobile game. Exclusive to iOS and Android. This was their big announcement. Take into account, this is for what is predominantly a PC gaming company. And their big Diablo announcement is a mobile title. Needless to say, this did not sit well with anyone. Not even, there were some people at that convention who weren't even fans of Diablo, and they shamed Blizzard for this. Blizzard was publicly booed on stage. And there's one specific instance which I would like to pull up here.
Please tell me it's what I'm thinking.
Let me turn off the Megalovania remix for a minute.
For a game title called Immortal.
So,
pretty soon.
for context here, at this point, after the announcement, Diablo, people the people who had announced it then opened up the floor for just for people, for essentially a Q&A session. They opened up the floor for a Q&A session where literally anybody could walk up to the stand and ask literally anything about the game. So at this point, people are a little bit upset. People feel as though they have been, used, they've been taken advantage of. Tensions are high for some pretty obvious reasons. Which, give me a second here, I am,
I mean, to be fair, we did finally get, well, it was later last year, but did finally get news of Diablo 4, but obviously with everything going on, nothing recently, but yeah, it was not pleasant to say the least. I wanted to throw my phone inside Blizzard HQ, but that'll require being anywhere near there.
It would also require having a phone, which Blizzard doesn't think you have.
Apparently not.
You guys not have phones? You guys not have phones? It's current year.
I love how people just meme this one section of it, though.
Yeah. It's current year. How do you guys not have phones? So, at that point, there are some people who are desperate. They're like, okay, maybe if at the very least we can get, a PC port. Because PC ports for some mobile games is not unheard of.
Yeah.
This was the result. I'm just going to be quiet here and I'm going to let this play for itself.
Is there any plans to make this playable on PC, or is this just strictly mobile?
Can't hear the audio.
Are there any...
I'd check that out.
Did you not unmute the...
No, I unmuted it. I just had the YouTube volume low.
Oh.
Is there any plans to make this playable on PC, or is this just strictly mobile?
I still can't hear him.
Are there any...
Can't hear it on the Twitch stream?
Yeah.
No, I can hear it. But I have it up to full blast.
Okay. Hold on, let me reload. Okay, try now.
Is there any plans to make this playable on PC, or is this?
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Is there any plans to make this playable on PC, or is this just strictly mobile forever?
Are there any? The current plan is to be on mobile, both Android and iOS. We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC. Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have
Everyone's got a
phones.
phone.
Yeah, I didn't remember how much of a plea you could tell in the guy's voice.
Yeah.
When he's saying that.
Just, do you guys not have phones?
No, the
Just
person that question.
the sheer amount of just no fucks given on Blizzard's part. They knew what they were doing. In fact, the outrage immediately started. Because,
Not a good
as you can see here, at that point, they got railed live during their Q&A session.
Now I'd like to pass it.
So, we're
Around the world.
gonna, let's see.
You who are here at
I'll flip through, but
Here we are. This is the one. So, this man is a goddamn saint. He's gonna walk up, he's gonna ask some he's gonna ask one question only, and it's the only question that needs to be asked.
Just was wondering, is this an out of
Another
season
question
April Fool's
is-
joke?
Is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke? Savage. This man is a goddamn savage.
I mean, power to him.
He went for the throat.
Like
He went for the throat.
you have to with Blizzard.
No, it's a fully fledged Diablo experience on mobile, which everybody will get to play.
Yeah, here it is.
Sorry, dude. As much as
Is there any plan?
Which, you already know the rest of that. So, obviously, people didn't take kindly to Diablo Immortal's announcement.
I didn't realize until you.
Now
put
I
the
would like to
comparison-
call your attention to what happened earlier today at exactly 7 in the morning my time. Not 7, sorry, 8.
One thing I want to say though is I didn't realize how similar that was done. Like the whole hyping this up.
Yeah.
Giving players help for something, and then a week later it's just
So, I would like to preface this with, a week ago today, Pokemon did their Pokemon Presents. This was, for all intents and purposes, just their way of announcing all their planned titles currently. Odds are this was probably going to be shown at E3, and obviously, E3 didn't happen, and so this was their way of giving us that information, which is fine. And there were some great announcements here. For starters, a new Pokemon Snap game, which I never saw that coming. I don't think anybody saw that coming. Like, we haven't had a Pokemon Snap game since its debut on the N64. I don't think anybody expected a new Pokemon Snap game. This is something fans had wanted for ages and thought it would never happen.
to be fair, they did start the thing with the Pokemon Smile.
And then we got a mobile game.
I said a
and
lot, not all of it.
There's not even a lot at that point because
I
it's
mean,
only one thing.
There were a few things that were actually pretty interesting. For starters, Pokemon Snap, new Pokemon Snap. This was great. This was huge.
Yeah.
Right. This made people very happy right here.
Yeah.
They also announced, obviously, Mega Evolution coming to Pokemon Go. For the hardcore Pokemon Go fans, that was probably very big news for them. They probably got excited over that. Personally, I don't play Pokemon Go, so that don't really matter too much for me, but I could see that being exciting and good news for some. They also announced the Zero Aura raid event, which they have actually met the goal for, by the way. So everybody will be getting a shiny Zero Aura soon.
As long as you participate in the raids, that is.
Yep. You
That
also
is a
have
big
to
thing
have
with
You also have to have used Pokemon Go within the past, I believe, week.
Pokemon Home within the
No,
week,
yeah.
and I think it's gifted only through mobile version,
Yeah.
and you had to have completed a Zero Aura raid. So if you do
Yes.
like a 3-star and you're able to blast through it yourself, then you're able to get it.
They
So
also
what you're
announced
saying there's going to be a legitimate way to do the thing.
there was also, the announcement of a new new Pokemon puzzle game, Pokemon Cafe Bish, which kind of feels like a spiritual successor to Pokemon Shuffle in a sense. Which, again, not my cup of tea. I know there are some people who like puzzle games, and so they might actually like that. But not inherently a bad thing. They ended that presentation with saying there would be another presentation today on the 24th, and it would be announcing their next big new project. Those were the specific words they stated. Big new project. This was
Many
then...
translate that to us main title.
This was further reinforced on Twitter, where they continued to, keep that implication of big new project. And a lot of people understandably took that to mean either A, the announcement of a new main series title, or a completely new type of Pokemon game. Maybe a new spin-off that we had never heard of before. Right?
I mean, they would be right. For better or for worse.
And so, a lot of people understandably got excited. Personally, I did not expect
it. For the air, sorry. I couldn't resist.
Personally, I prefer the air. Sorry. Go on.
Getting Niff to fuck.
So, personally, I expected not a main series announcement at all. Because, from my point of view, it doesn't make sense for them to announce a main series title this early. Especially when all the DLC for Sword and Shield is even out yet. It would have made zero sense for them to announce the next main series game at this point in Sword and Shield's lifespan. It just straight up makes no sense for them to announce something like that before DLC 2 comes out, because that actually would hamper their sales of DLC 2. Because why would people then buy the next DLC expansion when they could just save that money for the next game? It just doesn't make sense from both a marketing and a corporate perspective for them to have announced a new main series game at that point. Whether that's Let's Go Johto or Sinnoh remakes, whatever. It just does not make sense for this announcement to have been the next main series game. If you really stop to think about it, it doesn't make sense. But the announcement came, and we got Pokemon Unite. Hey, you guys heard of League of Legends?
We can finally complete the joke.
Imagine League of Legends, but with Pokemon. Also, there's only 10 Pokemon, 8 of which are Kanto Pokemon.
To be fair, that's only from what they've shown. They've not said that that's the only.
They might add new Pokemon in, but they're probably, let's be honest,
they're probably just going to make it pay.
Also, it's quote-unquote free to start, and it's probably going to be riddled with microtransactions of League of Legends and most mobile games or anything to go off of.
Cough, cough, old Wizard. Crap, I forgot the game.
World of Warcraft.
Old Dota?
No.
Heroes of the Storm.
Current Dota?
No, it's nothing of that.
Did you say Kermit?
I meant more in the microtransactions department. I bet old school Wizard 101. Not Wizard 101, that's a show, right? No, wait.
No, yeah.
That's the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That back like in 2008 when that was first starting up, that was awful when it came to microtransactions. You had these microtransactions to get into like new areas just to explore. But nowadays it's actually pretty good. But
So, my verdict on this is
Game doodoo.
they fucked up.
LOL XD.
This is quite literally Pokemon's Diablo Immortal moment. It is the exact same vein. The parallels are so strong that they are impossible to not pick up on. From the very blatant deceptional marketing and hype to the lack of actually correcting that sort of hype, knowing full well that people are going to be expecting something you are not going to announce, to announcing something that is extremely underwhelming by comparison and will definitely not meet the fans' expectations. The parallels are way too strong to ignore. This is Pokemon's Diablo Immortal moment. It is safe to say, at this point in time, that the Pokemon Company has lost touch with their fan base. They clearly do not know either what their fans are expecting, or more likely, they know, but just simply don't care.
You act like this isn't coming off the backs of Pokemon Go the fuck to sleep.
By the way, what happened to that? Anybody notice there's no news on that? Gee, I wonder why that could be.
The only good thing is that I can finally make the joke of smile lol XD.
I had to say that to you before you even got it.
I mean, it's still good.
No, it's a great joke, don't get me wrong.
I can see that.
Like, Pokemon Smile is good. Pokemon Smile. Here's the thing: Pokemon Smile is okay in my book, solely for that alone. The thing is, memes aside, it does seem like it could be actually a very good help for parents who maybe have little kids and stuff,
or a person that has self-management.
Can I make a comment here?
It definitely seems like a better thing than Pokemon Unite.
Can I make a comment here?
Nobody asked for either of these things, but I can definitely see more people being okay with Pokemon.
Ben. Your rant can hold on for a second. Jeroen, what's up?
Jeroen's been trying to say something for 3 times now.
Sorry.
I have 2 things to say. One, Pokemon Smile is just the Pokemon Company trying to, milk the biggest gambling life there is. Real life. Second of all, Pokemon Unite is literally... Okay, we want fans. Let's milk Gen 1 once again. Because why not?
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous with the fact that they just keep thinking that they're just going to keep pandering to Gen 1, and it's automatically going to make things
better.
Better, gravitated towards whatever.
It's actually baffling to me that they haven't learned that people just don't care about Gen 1.
Are sick of it. Even the people that did play Gen 1 are sick of it.
Literally, literally just have to look at a single thread of Twitter replies to find out that people just don't give a shit about Gen 1 anymore.
Gen 1 is my least favorite gen right now.
Oh god, it's not even League of Legends, it's fucking Battle Right.
Yeah.
So, the other big issue is that...
I hadn't even seen it up till this point. It's garbage.
They just... Something else that I think is very hilarious, by the way, is, I don't know how well this is going to actually pick up on camera, but I'm gonna attempt to zoom in here on that thumbnail. No,
I don't think that's going to show up that well.
Yeah, that's not going to show up well. Let me... Hang on. Let me actually pull this damn video up real quick and attempt to just do find the specific thing. You can tell how little they cared just by one specific frame in here, which I would going to point out because I noticed this immediately, and I haven't seen a whole lot of people talking about this. And I, one, think it's hilarious, and two, I think it just speaks volumes as to how little they care. Look at this screenshot of the Switch. Does anything look odd to you? Does anything look odd to you about that?
Haven't seen it yet.
Anything, chat, does anything seem off to you about those Joy-Cons?
Oh, what the fuck?
Does anything seem
What?
off to you?
Excuse?
Does anything seem off to you about these Joy-Cons? I don't know, I think they look perfectly fine to me.
Excuse me?
What?
Jeroen, look to the left.
Jesus Christ, the quality of my house is better than that.
Wait,
seriously.
Hold on. That is wait, go back.
Hang on.
We're done yet.
I'm trying to, hang on. Come on.
What are we looking for? Just like
There we go. Perfect.
That's actually a fucking backward. There's a fucking backwards A, a backwards B.
Yeah. They literally mirrored this shot. For no reason, by the way. What reason could they possibly have had to mirror that shot? But the thing is, it's not even like real mirroring because the freaking the screen's fine. Like that's oriented properly because look at the usernames. Look at the
afford to go up to Daddy Nintendo and get some new Joy-Cons, so they're just like, fuck, we have these budget ones.
Like, look at the freaking usernames here. Like, these are not flipped usernames.
Like, on a better and actually good, exciting note,
You wanna say
Ninjala
something
is
about
now
Toaster
available
Strudels?
to play, and it's free.
Ninjala?
Yeah.
If this does not speak volumes as to how little they cared about this project, I don't know what does. Because there's no way that whoever was editing this trailer didn't catch this. This had to have been an intentional decision.
I'm just more surprised that they actually just like try to or have gotten away with using bootleg Joy-Cons.
This isn't even bootleg Joy-Cons. They straight up mirrored the frame. They mirrored the footage. This is just completely unnecessary post-editing production.
Also, wait, no, that's not the case. Because if that were true, then because aren't the joysticks above the?
No, joystick is above the left Joy-Con. He's holding the joystick to the left Joy-Con, right? And you can see a backwards B.
Yeah, the image is mirrored.
Yeah. Like it's oriented
Oh, I guess
correctly.
you can see. Okay,
I thought that too. That's why I pulled out my own goddamn Switch to check.
Yeah. And for some people who might be wondering, this is actually just a fun bit of trivia personally. For some people who might be wondering why the Switch itself is mirrored but the footage isn't, that's because what generally happens with these sorts of reveals is that instead of actually showing a pre-production demo in these sorts of shots, what they will actually do is they will essentially CGI edit the actual footage onto the screen of the device itself. So it looks as though the device is running it, when in actuality, it's just actual, gameplay just put on in post-production. So this scene, in actuality, is probably some dude either playing a completely different Switch title or just, holding up a Switch with nothing on it. And then they have overlaid this footage on top of that in post.
I was about to say, like, look, the blue Joy-Con's not even fully connected on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's supposed to not be.
Like,
no, what?
How little do you have to care about your products and your announcements to let this slide? I know this seems like a very minor gripe, but it genuinely shows how little they care.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, that is true. That's right.
Like,
I forgot
Yeah,
I had a.
I know
It's
this
like-
seems like nitpicking, but this genuinely shows how little they care. If
This
they
reminds
cared
me
even
of
the
something.
slightest, they wouldn't have let this slide.
I forgot that because of my hand tremors.
Okay, I'm gonna make a comment here. Disclaimer: I'm not one of those net dexers, but the national dex was basically the bad omen of this. The moment they cut the literal thing that makes Pokemon, you know something is going on.
The thing is, they just tensions are already high. The fan base has already been completely divided because of Sword and Shield, and this for a lot of people, even the non-Nat Dex supporters and stuff, this was the straw that broke the camel's back. Was this announcement?
I suppose you noticed it too.
What's up?
What happened there just a minute ago?
No.
Oh, I thought that's why he snickered.
I mean, I did, but like I wasn't going to mention it.
No, I was just asking if you knew if that's what you were snickering about.
No.
Okay.
Like
thing,
the phrase, literally, the phrase in Japanese has been "geto geto," literally translated, "get 'em all." That phrase has carried through the fucking Sun and Moon anime, and I do believe it's still in the.
They
the Sword and
literally
Shield
have
one.
made the premise of their new anime season of Ash accompanying this kid who literally wants to fill out the national Pokedex. Doesn't that seem the slightest bit ironic?
Thank God they're finally just letting Ash die, though.
I'm genuinely surprised they even bothered putting in a Carlos one, because let's get real here.
Yeah.
Gen 6 got shafted.
The thing here...
in multiple ways than one.
The following... after presenting my case, this is clearly a PR nightmare for Pokemon. There's no other way to look at it. I mean, just look at the likes to dislike ratio here. 16k likes to 50,000 dislikes. This is very clearly a PR nightmare.
Oh, let's look at some of the comments.
Let's look at some of the comments here. When I saw Tencent Games at the end, that is the time I realized why this game happens. Yeah, let's talk about that, by the way. So, I don't mean to bring up Black Lives Matter, and I'm only going to bring this up...
Now in development! Sorry.
So, I don't mean to bring up Black Lives Matter, and so I'm going to bring this up in the loosest way I possibly can. Basically, a couple weeks ago, Pokemon Company put out multiple statements on their Twitter saying that they side with the people protesting on behalf of Black Lives Matter and that racial equality is extremely important to them, and that, quote, they choose who they partner and work with based on their own ethics and what they consider to be morally acceptable. End quote. If that's the case, Pokemon Company, mind you, that's all well and good, mind you. But if that's the case, why did you then, 2 weeks later, announce a game made in partnership with a company in China that is notorious for being against freedom for Hong Kong, for being against equal labor rights in China, for being against basic, what we consider in America to be basic rights of, just being a human being, and that is pro-Chinese labor force. Doesn't that come off as ethically unacceptable and, not morally acceptable behavior? Because I sure as hell think that comes off as behavior that I wouldn't want to be caught associated with.
It's just a state of current events that You just gotta hit the brains every now and again with a "this you?" Like when Blizzard goes off about Black Lives Matter and how much they respect each and every individual. You just hit him with the uh Hearthstone band, like "this you?" Same person? That your guy? Really?
This you?
Yeah.
Really?
Like-
Oh.
I'm aware
I-
that for many of these companies, and obviously Pokemon is no exception, that their whole Black Lives Matter stuff, at the end of the day, is them trying to gain publicity and gain notoriety off it. But that doesn't make announcing this 2 weeks later, when you know the company they partnered with, that doesn't make that look any less bad. Like, if anything, that just further added fuel to the fire.
Keep in mind, I do believe they partnered with Tencent to release the NVIDIA Shield TV.
Not Pokemon. That was Nvidia partnering with Tencent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Pokemon Company had no involvement in that. So
Like, let's go
look at
through
these
it.
comments here. Now in development, undevelop it.
Exactly.
Once you see the Tencent logo, you'll know you're in for a bad time. A battery-draining, low-quality game that makes your phone hot and pushes you to recharge, basically an in-cap purchase to get better items. If it wasn't made by Tencent, it would be better. Shame on you, Pokemon.
Like, let's go through here. They just added petrol, oil inside of a what should we say? Firework factory. And with this video, they lit the fire and let it burn.
To them, they think that we see these nostalgia trailers as, those were the good old days, I can't wait for what's next. But instead, most people see it as, those were the good old days, look at how they massacred my boy. Tencent is a company that literally is more greedy than EA and supports a totalitarian government in China, outs you and bans you as they are against basic human rights, freedoms, and free speech. They openly support police brutality and have a monopoly on the games industry in China. And all they do is make clones of other games with minor references. Free Hong Kong. Don't support Tencent. It looks mad, but I think I'll give it a try. Sees Tencent. Nope, I'll never download it. Is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke? Free to start. How can something sound worse than free to play? These guys are a joke. Tencent, for fuck's sake, this app will be like Pokemon Duel, which is dead now and doesn't even exist. Needless to say, people aren't happy. If this doesn't serve to show how out of touch the Pokemon Company is with their consumer base, I genuinely do not know what does. I'm going to close this off with something aimed directly at the Pokemon Company themselves. Now, I highly doubt anybody from the Pokemon Company is going to be watching this. In fact, I would be willing to bet money that nobody from the Pokemon Company will ever see this. But, on the off chance that somebody from the Pokemon Company does end up seeing this, somehow, I would like my opinion and my voice to be heard. To the people at the Pokemon Company, you seriously need to get your priorities and your just general structuring in order. Because from my perspective, these past few years have been a nightmare for both myself as a fan and for many people. You have continuously done things that for many years we as a fan base have learned to tolerate. But for the past 2 years specifically, you have crossed the line. You have continuously pushed development teams time and time again without giving them any opportunity to take breaks or get more manpower or perhaps even get more financial resources. You are continuously stuck upon an annual release schedule, which ends up resulting in less and less features and more things cut as years go by due to a lack of development time. And you are so set in your ways of trying to make everything mobile friendly that you are missing out on what made your franchise popular to begin with. You want to change as the world changed, and that's fine. That's totally acceptable. But there is a right and a wrong way to do that. And right now, you are definitely not doing this the right way. I highly suggest that you take a hard look at the state of your franchise and at the state of your fan base and seriously consider your next courses of action and your next plans for both your products, your PR divisions, and your development teams. Because right now, as a consumer, what the behavior that I am seeing from you is completely unacceptable and is absolutely scummy. And I do not want to support that. Thank you. On that note, I'm going to end the stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next week. Hopefully, without certain issues that need to be addressed. See you guys then.